Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I just want to say there's an old adage, man, that whoever writes the stories controls the society. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to realize exactly, like you mentioned, the Holocaust, right? Well, you always have to compare to that, like it's the worst thing that happened. The Africans suffered worse because they were innocent. You weren't. You know, you had a direct hand with the Jewish corporations in this country to bring back your own Holocaust on your own people. You know, and a lot of benefit. Now, you know, history is always written by the victors. Y'all not only wrote yourself into history, you changed your name. You're really not Jews, you're really EUS. You know what I'm saying? You use, you know, because y'all directly came out of the caves, and your whole history, factual, actual history, is that wherever you went, you caused discourse. You know what I'm saying? You had a direct hands that's been exposed in slavery, in colonization in Africa, around the world, the things you're doing now. So, you know, I have very little sympathy when they getting up on it to you now. Oh, we were persecuted, what they're going through now, and what have you, you know. And I have no qualms about identifying who our actual enemy is, you know. And it's just a shame, man, that now with everything that's going on, how they've transformed this whole society, that we are still at the bottom, you know, and no one is really addressing the main issue of where this land, the direction we're headed, and where we stand in it right now. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing in comparison to what's coming down the pipe. The whole plan now is to take out as many of us as they can so that the transsexual and everyone else can get a leg up and have something. And we're being cast right out of history.
Okay.
Right out the picture.
Indeed.
And it's not only hurtful that those we depend on to keep us abreast, you know, because I look and I study, I research. I said, who is really there for us today addressing these issues like Martin Luther King did and others, you know? And I'll tell you something. When Huey P. Newton went to China and met Mao Zedong, he signed his own death warrant. When Malcolm went to the East and came back, he signed a death warrant, you know? Because once this goes out internationally, you know what I'm saying? Look away. Castro came to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Asada Shakur ran to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Herman Ferguson, or who was it, left. Robert Williams, he went to China. Herman Ferguson, he left and came back too. I don't know if it was China or Cuba, but he came back. You know? But to look where has our advancement been, we've lost more than we've gained within the last 20 years. You know?
Yeah,
it's a shame.
I just want to add on too, that you know, in the Bible, when Jesus was teaching, he was talking about the hypocrite.
Right.
And you have hypocrites in all facets of foreign society. Today we'll call them a gatekeeper. And you have these people who are being empowered, the 10%, to tell lies and make the truth look like a lie.
Right.
So you have people amongst us who look like you and I, whose sole purpose is to cause chaos for everything that we do, even amongst the other groups, even amongst the LGBT. There was no, you look at their flag, they had the color of the rainbow, now they put black and brown in there, but that the people that, even in that movement, even though I don't subscribe to that movement, the people who are at the bottom of, who, not at the bottom, but put the foundation in that, a lot of that is who? The black woman and the black, you know, homosexual, whatever. They're the ones that are the ones that really build that movement, but yet they have the least amount of power. It's still controlled by the white man. The white man in a wig and a dress.
Right.
He's running the whole damn show. Telling
You're right, just like there's two Black Lives Matter movements. One is poor, one got a whole lot of money.
Right.
Millions.
Right.
You know, but the average person don't know this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The two Black Lives Matter. You know? But when it comes to the media, you're not distinguishing that. You know, you're just going by the name.
Right.
You know, people have got to be aware of that. Well, we're aware, so our duty is to teach always, man. You know, teach the truth regardless of whether they like it or not.
Right.
You know, that's a leg we stand on. Like what Lord Shaw does here every week, man, it's important because you get in the first hand, not second hand. Not watered down or glossed over like so much. Not something that has, see, because information can be misinformation or disinformation. All information is not knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got some misinformation that is can be unintentional. The person will swear up and down that this is the truth. But disinformation is intentionally put there, man, to like, you know,
Right.
to take your head.
Right. And that's why the guy was talking about the books.
Right.
The book is so important because
Right. Like Sudan here has books. He's supposed to have a book depository of essential work. Essential books that, like when I was coming up, Man Child of Promise, man, before the Mayflower, even Elder Cleaver had Soul on Night. This was part of New York City curriculum. Now you got Sally has two mommies. You know, it's crazy. Unless we pull it together and start, man, really getting back to where it was, like not like it is, like it was. You know, we're gonna see, man, it get worse and worse.
Okay.
That just goes to show the time that we living in, guys. You know, you gotta listen to what the man said about homosexual teaching way back in the 60s. To beware of that then, about Russia invading. How many people done invaded us? Besides Russia right now. Then you gotta look at, you know, you got agents everywhere, yo. You got agents be amongst us on the regular right now. Agents. The ones that come in the cipher and try to abrupt the motherfucking cipher. That's the agent. Listen to what I'm saying to you, girl. You got people that will come around just to abrupt that which is positive in your name. That look like you, sound like you. But abrupt the positivity that's going on because they don't want to see the growth, the expansion, the love. They don't want to see that. So they stick the pen in the pot. And if you ain't aware, you may get caught up in it. That's why he said we don't talk about nobody. We talk about our what?
So, that's right.
And don't worry about what they doing. You don't do it.
Right.
Okay, peace, God.
What about a resurrection, an insurrection in our community? Maybe as close as this next election, if it don't turn out the way some people want it. Instead of them going to Washington, they come to our community with all the guns that they own and possess and say, well, you're not replacing us and we're going to guarantee that it's not going to happen. So like if this guy don't become the president, well, he just become the dictator. As he said, on my first day I'll be a dictator, but on his last day he was. So
Well, let me. I need to interject here.
okay.
So yes. So again, our lessons teach. Why does the devil keep and teach our people illiterate? So you can use them for a tool or to a slave. He keeps them blind to themselves so he can master them. Illiterate means ignorant.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.